zero, if you don't even know what an Earthship is, then there's a DVD that takes you through the 6 points of an Earthship. And those 6 points are, they make their own electricity from sun and wind. They harvest their own water from rainfall and snowmelt. They collect, contain, and treat their own sewage so that you need no infrastructure. They heat and cool themselves. They are built from about 45% recycled materials, and they produce a significant amount of food. Now, you take all those 6 points together, there is nobody on this planet that's not going to be interested in that for many reasons. One is their own security. Economics, they have to buy all these things now and pay for all this infrastructure and hooking up to the public utilities and so on. And three, the environmental aspects of this obviously constitutes a carbon zero building. So from an environmental level to an economic level to a survival level, the definition of Earthship, of an Earthship building by these 6 points will be worth your looking further just by knowing that. So you find out that if you've got something that produces your power, water, sewage, food, shelter, and heating, cooling, that's enough to say, okay, I want a home that does this. That's what an Earthship is. That's why we're doing them. We're doing them for economic reasons. We're doing them for environmental reasons. We're doing them for security reasons. We're doing them for global warming reasons. They are pertinent to any reason that you would want a home. And everybody needs a home, so that keys Earthships as a concept into every human on this planet. So, okay, shit, I want one of these. I want to start living this way. Now, where do you go from there? Say, okay, what do I have to do? Well, most people, can't afford a super custom home. So you want to look at the most general prototype Earthship that is the most applicable to the most climates in the United States or in the world. And that is what we're calling the global model. So you want to get information on the global model. And there are global model floor plans posted on site under buildings. That shows you the nature of the type of building you want. If you want to get into a specific custom floor plan, you're talking a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money, then you can't go there. It's the same thing as buying a car. If you want an automobile and you want to go in and say, I want it to be able to seat 5 people in the front seat, and I want it 2-story, and I want it. You're gonna spend a fortune if you can find anybody to do that at all. You go in to find an automobile, and you pretty much get the color that you want, and that's it. So that's the way housing is going to have to be in the future, because housing of the future is going to be machines that take care of people. So if you're convinced that an Earthship is valid in your life, and there's really no way it could not be, then you look for the basic public model Earthship, which is the global model, and get information about it. Now let's say you've done that. Now you understand what an Earthship is, and you understand the most relevant Earthship to get for the average American or the average human. In the United States, let's say, the way people live is different than they live in Uganda or someplace like that. So the global model Earthship is adaptable to all over the planet, but it's adaptable different to a Korean than it is to an American, and what we have online is more for Americans, Europeans. We would have to take it ourselves and adapt it to Uganda, Patagonia, or other not so developed countries. But let's just say in the developed world, we're talking where you go from here. Let's say you understand what an Earthship is, and you have browsed through the global model and you found a 2-bedroom global model that just suits you perfectly, given the circumstances. And you want to go, okay, what's my next step? Well, your next step is you need to obviously get construction drawings for that. They are available. They're available right now. You can have them sent to you within the next week. Okay? They do cost money. This is like a 30-page set of drawings, step by step, how to do it. If you plan to build the building yourself, then you might want to get even volume 1, 2, 3 and Water from the Sky, and even Comfort in Any Climate. This is still like, $100 worth of books or $150 worth of books that will make it so you can build this building yourself, because they go into how to do most of the details that are in the drawings. However, before you go for the drawing, you want to know if you can do this in your county. And there's when you get into calling the county up, and we don't have this map out yet, but we're going to have a map out pretty soon that locates pockets of freedom, what we call pockets of freedom. A pocket of freedom is an area in this country, and there are many counties in this country. I would say there's hundreds of counties in this country that do not require a permit. They only require some kind of a septic permit or something, which is easy to deal with. They don't require a building permit to build the building with. You can build whatever you want. If you're an owner-builder, and if you set yourself up as an owner-builder, you can do that and still have a contractor build for you. You can still have a builder build for you. You just set yourself up as an owner-builder. And if you are not building a commercial condo or whatever, you're just building a home for yourself and your family, there are counties throughout the country that you can just do that with a septic permit. And the septic permit is no problem, because in these buildings you have a conventional septic tank inherently built in, even though we don't use it as such, which qualifies for the septic permit. Other than that, if you don't need a building permit to build the house, then you're home free. So my best advice is to select land on which to build your home in what we call a pocket of freedom, if you haven't bought the land yet. If you have already purchased land and it is an area where you have a permit, a building permit has to be purchased, has to be applied for, then you're in for a little bit of time. Hopefully not too much time, but in certain counties in this country, people have waited. If you're doing something new and different, like building out of rammed earth tires and harvesting water and containing and treating your own sewage, then you're looking at 6 months, a year to get a permit. It's best to not build in these areas, or at least scope them out. And then sometimes you need our help, local engineers' help. You need to vary things and get variances, and it's a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's a 1 month pain in the ass. Sometimes it's a 1 year pain in the ass. So your choices now are starting to present themselves. If you don't have anything, land or anything, then choose land in a pocket of freedom. Yeah, the pockets of freedom are sometimes somewhat remote from major cities, because what comes with major cities is major regulations. So this takes you from nowhere, really, to understanding what an Earthship is, then understanding what type of Earthship you need, and then understanding how to launch and get yourself ready to decide then to purchase construction drawings, and then decide if you want to try to build it yourself or get us to help you with shell and systems, or as the case here in Crockett, Texas. The people walked in 2 or 3 months ago, and here we are with a 12-person crew and 15 interns, 25 people descending on their site to throw their building up in 30 days. So that's the crash course on knowing nothing about Earthships to having one on your property within a month.